Revenue from service and repair works is vital for the dealers. Efficiency in the service department can make a huge difference at the bottom line. Let's see how MyDealerSoft approaches this function. To access the system, we will use again the same address in our internet connection and the username and password that has been authorized to access the service and parts function. From this menu, we select the Service Shop option to go deeper in the next level. A very meaningful point to start is to check available times for service to schedule an appointment. The user clicks on the Availability button. The system displays a graphical representation of one or more days with the names of the mechanics and the time slots in a working day. The red bars indicate appointments already booked. The blue bars indicate free time for each mechanic, for lunch or other activities. When we place the mouse over a red bar, it drops down a little window for the particulars of the appointment. Notice that in the same display, we have an immediate management report, the measurement of productivity in this day per mechanic. This is a strong tool to ensure an effective capacity planning and utilization of our service department. When the customer comes at the actual appointment time, the appointment is retrieved to help the receiving person create a service order without re-entering customer and car data. All we have to do is press this button to create an automated service order. The supervisor has an overall view of the service orders in a period of time and the status of completion of each of them. This will help him prioritize better the work to be done and expedite inbound activities to ensure prompt delivery of cars. With the service order screen, the front desk or any other authorized person can do several automated activities. Let's see some of them. He can define a standard service to avoid having to enter details of parts and labor in service items below. He can select parts or labor from lists or freehand. He can link the service to an extended warranty over parts. He can click a button and order the parts listed in this screen to his designated part supplier. Online, real time, no further in and out of the system to work with other systems. On the same order, we can also have an estimate of customer costs. We can even print an estimate invoice. If there are pending works or comments, we keep a proper note on the system for future reference. Finally, we keep track of time reporting per mechanic to have a more sophisticated method of tracking and charging the labor costs per case. In this function, we need either smart card readers or scanners and barcoding. Prior to use parts in a service order, the system checks availability of them from our own stock, if we maintain one in-house. In the case of direct purchases of parts from suppliers, again, we can use some codification of parts to enable management reporting later. When we reach the stage of invoicing, we have again a set of functionality to select. Notice that the invoice screen has already been linked with the service order, the customer, and the car. From the details of parts consumed, the system has updated the inventory records, if we happen to maintain parts in stock. The system has also created the general ledger entry to update the accounting books with the sale and cash accounts. Finally, we print the invoice on any laser printer. Here is the summary of time reports per mechanic, with start and end times. Notice that we can accommodate also standard charging times per standard labor codes if such practice makes sense to a service department. With this screen, we can prepare for a parts order to supplier, either to put on stock or to use in service orders. We may also wish to forecast our needs for parts replenishment. This is the way to do it. First, we specify which period in the past we check for history and for how many days in the future we want the forecast to be. Then, we specify what kinds of stocks we want to forecast and what mathematics the system will do to propose an automated order. Obviously, this is a system-suggested entry that can be trimmed, adjusted, or even canceled by human intervention later before finalized. A new purchase order can be created in at least 5 different sources: from forecast, from an offer, from a copy of a prior order, or from a service order. The least that can be done is to create a manual order from scratch. There are several ways to receive items from suppliers. There are at least 2 kinds of activities to do: to place the item in a service order, or to place the item in stock. The cycle of parts management continues with the receipt of parts from suppliers and the processing of purchase invoices. Orders are tracked at the level of each supplier. Every supplier's invoice is used to update the stocks on hand or service orders, as we explained before. Again, the general ledger is updated in the form of journal entries for the purchase of items and the tracking of payables due to suppliers. The attachment is a tool to send or receive electronic files to and from suppliers. This eliminates the need of manual data entry in any stage of the purchasing cycle. At the conclusion, here is a comprehensive view of the stocks. This is a 360 view of the incoming parts, the sales, and the remaining balance, both in terms of quantity and sales value. At any point of time, the users enjoy a full variety of reports for all aspects of their business and their relationships with customers. There are many dozens of pre-prepared reports for sales, service, and parts. Other reports can be produced using a report generator, which is available to users. This concludes the presentation of the service and parts function. Thank you for joining us. We welcome you to view other My Dealer Soft presentations.